Hi everybody. My apologies for earlier. I am not the best at technical stuff and I just started using this software. So, well, anyway, so here we go. So I wanted to address two questions today. The first question is about the energy of the day, and the second question is for the singles who are looking and who are wondering what to do with this lockdown, how to meet somebody new. So we address that after we first check the energy of the day. So let's see what comes out. It's the Hermit upside down. So here's the card of the Hermit. The tarot deck that I'm using is the Dreaming Way Tarot. So the Hermit is about doing your own thing, about not compromising, searching for your own truth, about solitude also, which comes in handy in these days, and to really, to take advantage of being alone also. The Hermit wants to be alone, enjoys being alone, because then he doesn't have to take other people's opinions into account and can do whatever he feels like doing, which he feels is necessary to reach his goals in life, no? And his goal is really about finding out the truth. So the lantern that you see in his hand, this represents enlightenment and clarity. So he's trying to shed some light on what's going on what is real, on what matters. And then you see the stick in his hand. This is about taking action also, no? So to really do what he wants to do. So the energy of the day is the energy of uncompromising and spiritual action. So what is influencing us today? The Nine of Cups. I've seen this card often as well, the Nine of Cups. The Nine of Cups is a card that represents kind of the end of a journey in the emotional. So you can see that this person is kind of chilling and easy. So the 9 is the number of mastership also, of mastery, and sometimes also some final struggles before the story is over, kind of like the universe testing you if you're ready to go to that next level. So emotionally, it means we're coming to terms to what's going on. Our hearts are more and more capable of opening and closing when we decide, so we don't get overwhelmed with emotions as much. But there's still sometimes little glitches, no? So we are owning our emotional stories more, but there is still challenges to keep us on our toes, so to say. But in the 9, it's mostly the feeling of, like kind of a relief that you've been through the worst, you know? So the worst is basically past when it comes to the emotional turmoil that we've seen. So this is what is influencing us, what is around us. So also maybe what's going on the world stage, we're finally kind of getting used to what's going on. It's not impacting us as much as it used to. So how can we deal with this? Like, what is the action to take to deal with these emotions and energies? So the energy of the Hermit, the solitude that we're dealing with, and this feeling of like we want to do our own thing, we don't want to make any compromises anymore, we don't need other people to tell us what to do. And then also that feeling of like finally having some more quiet in the emotional life. So the Queen of Swords is coming out, and she's upside down. So as you can tell, the Queen of Swords sitting on her throne with the swords. But she's upside down, so it means that there might be, it's time to take decisions and to really have some healthy judgment about things, And when she's upside down, it's even to be a little selfish, you know, like the Queen of Swords upside down is quite stubborn and very self-assured, sometimes even too self-assured. In other spreads, I would say like you're being selfish. But here it's actually the course of action that is advised. So I would say don't think too much of what other people are thinking or doing or saying, but really think mostly about yourself, you know, like take care of yourself and make that decision, or choose for the things that really help you, you know, that really make you feel good. So also not to judge yourself too much, you know, because it's the Queen after all. So it's about self-care, love for yourself, also putting yourself on that throne where you deserve to be. And the possible outcome is the High Priestess. So the High Priestess represents a stronger connection. Like the High Priestess is about a strong connection to your intuition, a very spiritual card. Also to be more in touch with your dreams, your subconscious. So if you are gonna take more time by yourself, what the Hermit said in the beginning of the reading, and you're gonna be more at peace with your emotional story and not get as overwhelmed, which is already the case. And then also take those decisions that really matter to you without taking other people too much into account. You're gonna get so much closer to your intuition, and you're gonna get a greater understanding of who you are, what you're doing here, what your purpose is, and what part you can play in the spiritual realm also. Maybe helping other people as a high priestess, maybe a healer, a light worker, or whatnot. So those are the 4 cards for the day. I will show you the lineup. So here you can see all 4 of them. So the Hermit, the 9 of Cups, the Queen of Swords upside down, and the High Priestess. Hi, Jenna. Yes, I am. Please go ahead. We have Jenna here who's willing to ask us a question. It's my favorite thing, so please. What's on your mind, Jenna? Oh, yeah, right. I remember you were asking me about him. Well, I can tell that Caleb is in a place in his life where he's very much, he's kind of enjoying himself right now. I have a feeling that he's in a pretty good place. Mostly financially, like, you know, he has a nice place and a nice job and a nice car and I don't know what else, but like mostly financially, it looks like he's in a good place. Well, that's the card that came out. Wow, and I have another king coming out here. That's so interesting. I first get the King of Pentacles, and now I get the King of Wands. So, what is that about? Well, you know what else this could be? Like the King of Pentacles is about financial well-being. These could be the messages for him, you know. This could be like his dad, the older person in his life, or some role model of his that are telling him what to do, like that he should get a job, and that he should start to get more creative and be more in touch with his creative side. because, like, you know, I can only say what the cards are saying. Like, I'm not gonna lie, right? So, but what I think is very interesting is that we're talking about a man and there's two kings coming out. So, what is that about? Yeah, so the King of Pentacles is representing somebody who's really in charge of his his material life, no? So he takes care of his body, he takes care of the money, and he's also capable of taking care of other people, yeah? So whether this is Caleb or not, it's definitely the energy of this. So maybe he is struggling with this energy right now, or somebody else is telling him like, come on, get your shit together, get that job, get your financial stuff together, pay those bills, or maybe get a better job, you know, if he does have a job already. And then the King of Wands, this is another masculine archetype that is about creativity. So really manifesting things, being creative, getting things done, and also coming to terms with your sexuality, the drive, your ego, like to really like put your foot down and show the world who you are, like manifest yourself into the world. So as far as his feelings for you, I get the Page of Pentacles upside down. The Page of Pentacles is again about the matter, and the page is like still in this learning process now. So maybe, I don't know, I have the feeling that this is not so much how he feels about you, but more how you feel about him. The Page of Pentacles. Like, yes, he has a job, yes, he has his shit together, but he still has a ways to go. And I'm not sure, but I seem to remember that last time the cards were also like more telling us about you and how you approach his deal than really his deal, because we are now communicating. So maybe that's why this energy is coming out, right? So the Page of Pentacles is like, well, it's a girl in this card, but very often it's also a boy. It doesn't really matter the gender. It's more about the position in the nobility. Like it's the first of the nobility in the card. So it's like a new beginning. It's a learning process. It's still a lot to learn, kind of, and you know, making mistakes, being a little clumsy sometimes, insecurity, all this. So and also an openness to learn, knowing that, you know, there's a choice to learn in this card. It's kind of a willingness to make mistakes and to learn through these mistakes. Maybe this is also related to your to how the relationship manifests, no, in the matter, that there is still a lot to learn. Finally, I get the Knight of Pentacles. So this is somebody who's like, this is kind of like the ideal son-in-law, yeah, but he's upside down. So I think maybe he's not really your ideal son-in-law, and I'm not sure what you're looking for, but this is kind of like the guy who's not really the most adventurous person, you know. He's very attached to the money and the job and doing the things the way they're supposed to be. So you might wonder also, maybe you like Caleb just because he's not so much the perfect son-in-law, no? So maybe this is something that you are not completely clear on, like whether or not he's the kind of person that you want to be with. Is that cool? I'm getting Naomi also here with a question. And Jenny also, Jenny G. Jenny G was first. Let's take a card for Jenny G. Okay, Jenny. Jenny and Jenna. It's funny how similar your names are. I get the 8 of Strength upside down. So, Jenny G, I think you are in a time now where you are a little bit struggling. There is maybe a little disbalance when it comes to your inner strength. This is the card of Strength, but it came out upside down. So when it's upside down, it's a disbalance. It's whether either too much or not enough. And the card of Strength, it speaks for itself. It's about the inner strength. And as you see, this girl is kind of guiding the lion that represents her willpower, her sexuality, her drive, yeah. So the girl is very relaxed with this lion, you know, she's completely in control of the lion. I mean, in control, not as much as like controlling it in a suppressive way, but more guiding it, because she's so confident, you know. It's about confidence also, about really knowing this lion and basically knowing herself, because this lion represents part of herself. So it's about knowing yourself and understanding that there is something inside of you, like, you know, the sexual power, this ki or chi that people talk about, that it is something that inspires us and gives us energy and drive, and that it's very important to not have it control us, but that we can guide it in the direction that we choose. So if it's upside down, it could be that you are kind of driven by your desires too much, that desires and things that you want are kind of killing you, yeah. I mean, I'm exaggerating now, but you know, that it's giving you a hard time. Or the other way around, that you're trying so hard to control all these desires and to not want and to like suppress these things, that you're completely out of touch with your inner voice and your inner strength, and that it's like killing your creativity. So it's important now to get back to that inner strength and to balance it and to harmonize this. So that was for Jenny G. Did that make any sense? I hope so. Let's see what other questions I missed. It's funny that Jenny G is Leo also, because there is a lion in the cards. I just read this. It's so funny, yeah? Look at this, like a card for the Leo. I'm also Leo, by the way, so there's times when this card emerges very often also in my case. So what else? Ocean. Let's look at the energy in that new love connection between Ocean and A. The King of Wands upside down. It's funny, the King of Wands came out earlier also in this other reading. The King of Wands is about owning your creative story and owning your sexuality, being very much in touch with your sensual, with your 5 senses and how you manifest yourself into this world. So it's a fire element, yeah, the wand. So it's about fire, transformation, change, to manifest things, to do magic. Because you see, he's like holding this huge stick, which represents like this magic staff, you know, the tool he uses to manifest things in the world. And then also this the print on his shirt, if you see, this is this chameleon. And these creatures also have this regenerative power, yeah? If you break their tail, it grows back. So they also represent transformation, change, regrowth, rebirth. So this is an energy that is very powerful, very strong, masculine energy that is very creative and quite sexual and strongly, very fiery. So I think this relationship with the Virgo is there's a strong physical connection, and he's very much in touch with his body also, and I have a feeling that you won't miss much in this sense, um, and that he's very confident also about himself and about how to treat a woman. So what to look forward to? I would say he knows very well what he wants, but as a warning, since it's the fire sign, fiery people are awesome to hang out with because they're creative, they're sensual, they are like, usually very fun loving also and really in the moment. But the thing is that they can also change, There's in fire there's fickleness. So I would be ready to be surprised also. Be ready to be surprised. Either good or bad, this I'm not sure. This is just coming from the card, from the King of Wands that I took for you. So you won't be bored, let's put it that way. There was a request also from All Things Scones. I'm sorry, I didn't see that. I thought it was the same person. Just I totally missed that. All Things Scones is also asking about an A. That's why I got confused. So let's see. Let's see about All Things Scones. Funny name also. What's going on with A? The Ace of Wands. So, and it's upside down. This is interesting. So the Ace of Wands, the Wands again, fire, sexuality, creativity, powerful. And it's the Ace, so it's new things, like a new direction, a new project, a new creative project. But it's upside down also. So this means that this probably this is your new relationship. There might be some bumps in the road, some glitches, maybe some insecurities, maybe some uncertainties or things that are not really clear. Like, is he fully available? Are you fully available? This is questions that rise when I see this card upside down, because it's like in my language we say it's a false start. It's like, everybody's ready to do the race, and then somebody starts too soon and they have to start again, and so it's like a rough start or an uneasy start, something like this. So there might be something not fully in harmony yet to begin in a good way. Does that make any sense? Yeah, that's probably why the card came out upside down, because if it would have been up straight, I would basically just see a new beginning in something creative. So there's a question coming from Glipper. Yeah, I'm sorry. So let's see. Let's do one more card for All Things Scones to see about the feelings that he has around this relationship and around All Things Scones. Oh, it's a Five of Pentacles. And this is quite a little bit of a sad card, actually, because this is the card that represents somebody who feels left out and a little bit the lesser, like you see this person sitting in the cold outside. So the Five of Pentacles, just besides from the drawing, and it's upside down, so this might be like on the looking up a little bit. The Five of Pentacles, so the Pentacles is about the matter, the material, And then the 5 is when you take a little step back, you zoom out, and you observe the situation. So since it's lying upside down, I feel like when he observed your situation, I mean, I don't know this. I'm just guessing that maybe you are the person who makes more money and has, you know, a better financial or material situation, and this could have maybe made him a little insecure. So this could be the reason that he's pulling out or not sure or whatever is going on between you guys. But this is how he feels. Like he feels like the lesser person who's a little bit out in the cold. I'm not saying that this is the truth, right? But this is what the card is saying as far as it is about his feelings. So I don't know if this makes any sense or not, but that's what I see right here. So does that help, all things scones? I don't know. I'm not even sure who's who in this relationship, but you know, the cliche, right? Like, if the man makes less than the woman, this very often brings insecurities. Insecurities emerge. And it's not that anybody's doing anything wrong, obviously, but you know, it happens. And if there's already other stuff that is making them a little insecure, and then this happens in the relationship, this is the situation. And it's not for nothing. Like, obviously, you attracted each other, maybe for this reason also, you know, to confront this and maybe learn a thing or two. But if the parties are not ready to really deal with these issues, what are the things that are going on inside, it can be very, very difficult to have a harmonious relationship. So it might explain what's going on. Okay, so Glipper, let's see, what's your question? Ah, this is very cool. Glipper, actually, your question kind of relates to a question that I wanted to address, like more in more general terms, for everybody who's watching right now, because in these lockdown times of Corona, it's very difficult for many singles to, like, you know, how do I meet somebody new? Like, what do I do? Like, do I go on Tinder? And Tinder, it sucks lately. I hear so many complaints from my single friends that Tinder is like the worst. So how do you meet somebody in these times? Yeah. So maybe we can do a little reading and see what single people can focus on in these times, and then what can you do, like what energy to focus on first off. Yeah, what should you focus on? What will help you to attract nice new people into your life? Does that make sense? Like, let's see what comes out. Yeah. Oh man, it's the Nine of Cups again. It's the second time I see this card today. So there's something about this card. The Nine of Cups is about, like, coming to terms with your emotional story. So you see all the cups in the card. Like, let's put it just a little bit closer. So you see a person sitting on a beach surrounded by cups. And the person is kind of chill, you know, not really bothered, like hanging out. And it makes sense because the number 9 in numerology is the number of mastery, mastership. It's also the last number in the line, yeah? Yeah, I like these cards also. They're very cool. And who knows if it's a girl or a boy? It could be like both ways. I'm not sure, but yeah, it might be a girl. And but look at the boots though. Like, the boots look kind of male. I don't know. But anyway, it doesn't matter. So the 9 is the end of the line, and this is related to mastery but also to final little challenges, like little tests to check whether or not you're ready to go to that next level. Because after 9 comes 10, and 10 is a new level, new direction, and new experiences, like completely new potential. So the 9 is kind of like your final exam, you could say, but it's also, you know, when you're like in your last year of high school, you're kind of like, yeah, I'm, you know, you're the man, you're there, but then you have your final exams also, right? So it's a little bit that energy, the 9. And it's in the field of emotions. So that's why she's sitting on the beach, because emotions and water are one. Like water usually represents emotions, symbol wise. And the cups are full of emotions, right? So the cups represent all these experiences, all these emotions, all that water under the bridge, you might say, that she's been through, that she's already, you know, that she already drank of, right? So this is her experience. So she's been there, done that. So it's kind of like, yeah, you're not gonna teach me anything anymore. I've seen everything. So she's completely in charge now of her emotional story. Whatever emotion comes, it's no longer overwhelming her. You know, it's not that she's not emotional anymore. Far from it. I would say even the opposite. It's good to have emotions, obviously, because you're a person, right? It connects you to who you are. It gives you some intuition about what is good for you and what's not good for you. So it's important to really feel, but to not be overwhelmed by them, you know, to not have these emotions control you any longer. And I think it makes sense in this whole single story, yeah? So the moment that you are more in touch with your emotions without being overwhelmed by them, it's going to be so much easier to connect also to other people who also have more, you know, who own their emotional stories, who are not over emotional and overwhelmed by this maybe singlehood or being lonely or whatever. So to kind of come to terms with who you are, where you are, and own it, yeah? This is like the advice. So focus on that. Focus on the fact that, you know, you've been through a lot and you are in a place in your life where you're absolutely fine, yeah? And if you have the feeling like I'm not so fine, then maybe to first work with this and see what you can do. This is the best of times to do the shadow work, to come to get some harmony with yourself, to really become your best friend, you know, your own best friend, because, you know, you are single, it's difficult to meet somebody else. So it's very good time to just work through your shit, if there's still some shit to work through. If not, and you're like, I'm so ready, right? Then what to do? Let's see what the next card is. Wow, it's the Two of Cups. Psh, this is super, like, so accurate, man. This is like full, harmonious, like balanced connection between two beings. Like, there's a good communication. They're on the same frequency level. You know, there's a good understanding on every level. So the Two of Cups is really a sharing of emotions. Like, this is like falling in love, basically, you know. And to really kind of feel each other without even speaking, you know, when you can kind of finish each other's sentences. Like, it's such a cliche, I know, but, you know, it happens when you have a good connection with somebody. So whether, like, even though it's now these crazy times, somehow it still happens, yeah? Like, people meet. And it could be in the randomest of places. Like, you still go out to do your grocery shopping, or maybe you go out jogging or whatever, you know. And I think the cards are trying to tell you, like, don't compromise on that, you know, like, really give the universe a chance to hand this to you, because you deserve it. And this is the best way to meet somebody, to really feel each other, to click. There's no questions, there's no like ifs or hows or when or why or whatever complication. It's very simple, it's very clear, it's very pure, and it's very true. And that's it. And then you know, and the other person knows, and it's easy as pie. And there you go. So to be patient, I think, also, because the two, after all, the two as a number, and this is going to sound funny probably to you, but the two doesn't really represent two entities in the numerology. Here it does, because it's about these emotions and these two people connecting emotionally. But actually the two is about being an individual, having an ego, having boundaries, because the one The one is one dot. The one is not really a thing. The one is like, it's a line, you know. The zero is a dot. The zero is the singularity. And then when the energy comes out of singularity, it's a line that goes into the infinity. So it's still not really an individual being. It's like, it's a potential, you know. It's like you make a choice and you start going somewhere, but you don't know where you're gonna end up, you know. That's why the ace in all the suits is like potential, a new start, a new beginning. And the two is when that line ends. So it has a beginning and an end. There are boundaries. So that's why the two is related to individuals, people with, you know, with boundaries, basically, right? Because there's limits, there's limitations. This is what makes you you and me, right? So the Two of Cups, I could also say, like, if you set really clear boundaries about who you are, who you want to be, you know, what you stand for, and also like about your emotions, like, you know, this hurts my feelings, like, enough. Or wow, I'm so full of love now, and you really, you know, you want to give and you show that to the world, like whatever emotion it is, to really be clear about this and to set those boundaries. It's also going to help you so much to connect to the right people, because the moment that you really connect to your authentic self, you're automatically gonna like attract the right people. They're gonna recognize you, you know, they're gonna want to be with you. They're gonna be like, wow, that person is so much like me, or so awesome, or whatever. So whatever you do when you are in the process of meeting somebody, just be authentic, show your true colors, you know. And it's not about like completely being vulnerable on a first date, you know. This is also not necessary. Like, you still have to like kind of be safe, right? But to be yourself, at least, you know. Lose the masks, no agendas, to really be true to yourself and also to that other person. This is important. And then also, as this two, the two is in the major arcana. This is the high priestess. So the high priestess is also about spirituality, connection with the higher self, you know, to connect to your intuition, and not so much to be active, you know. So I also would like to add that if you're just being yourself, yeah, I'm speaking a lot about this card, but it's really interesting, so I love sharing this. And it's not just for Glipper, it's also for everybody else, right? So if you really connect to yourself, and you show your true colors, you don't even have to go out so much anymore, you know. Just enjoy life, do what you usually do, connect to your heart, and be true and authentic. And that's all you need to do, basically, you know. The universe will provide. Somebody will come your way. You will meet in the most natural of ways, and it's going to be easy. So we have like the energy that you need, and then also like how to meet somebody. Is there other questions about this corona thing? Like, what is making it so difficult to meet people and how to come across this? I think these two cards kind of cover it, yeah? I'm not sure what else to add to this. Unless there's more questions coming from the people who are watching. So maybe just one more for Glipper. Well, Glipper, this is kind of interesting. I just pulled the King of Cups. So I'm guessing that, you know, this is like the King of Hearts. So he's probably doing exactly what you're doing right now. He or she, but like this is a king, so maybe it's a guy. I'm not sure if I'm dealing with a woman or a man right now. Doesn't matter. This is maybe your future partner, who is waiting for somebody also, but fully owning their emotional story and ready to open their hearts and to also close it, because, you know, everybody's always so much about opening and closing the heart, about opening the heart. Open your heart, open your heart. Yes, of course, it's important to be able to open your heart, and it takes work and healing and whatever else. But it's not just about opening your heart, guys. You also need to be able to close it. because in certain circumstances it's really not healthy to have an open heart, you know, like sometimes it's good to close it. So I would say the King of Cups is the energy that is like completely in charge of the emotional story, allows emotions to come, doesn't get overwhelmed by them, can actively engage in working with these emotions, and has the capacity to open and close the heart as fits. So, yeah, good cards. And all cups, isn't that interesting? Like I'm asking about relationships in Corona times, and I'm pulling all cups, and the cups are emotion, the heart. So I think in these times, guys, like these times where everything is so crazy and people are separating, and all these opinions and ideas and theories about whatever else, like blah blah blah, connect to your heart, connect to yourself, stay close to your emotional story. I think this is so important. Like have a heart, you know, stay human. So moving on, let's see what Positive for Life has to ask. I hope that helped, Glipper. I'm wishing you a great day, and I wish you the best of luck with that new partner. It's exciting times, and I hope you won't have to wait too long for it. But listen, it's going to be the perfect time. If it takes a while, then it's just because you needed that time to enjoy being alone. Like, try and look at it that way. So, it was my pleasure. So, Positive for Life. Let's see. Will your youth courses go good starting this January? Oh, for the people who are coming in and out, it's really cool when you go out that you subscribe first. That is like super helpful for me. And also maybe leave a nice comment for people to see. It's always nice for people who don't know me to see nice testimonials, to create a little bit of, that they want to stay and they're interested in watching. So, Positive for Life. Wow. This is a pretty strong card here. I see the Hanged Man. Very strong card, but it's upside down though. So this is, I mean, don't be alarmed. It looks a little bit crazy, but it's a really cool card because it's so interesting. It's about being in a position that you don't really want to be in, actually. You feel a little bit stuck. You feel like there might be more interesting places and things that you could, that you could engage in and that you could do, but you are in the exact perfect place that you need to be, even though that it is not comfortable. It's actually giving you the opportunity to look at things from a completely different perspective. You are upside down, so you see the things literally from a different angle, and it really helps you to learn to get a fresh perspective on things. So for those youth courses, that they will go good, I'm not so sure, but you might be surprised about how it makes you feel, because it's probably something that you committed to, and so you won't have a choice to go or to leave or whatever. So you're committed, you're kind of tied in. So maybe this is why this is the Hanged Man, because as you can tell, the feet are tied, and also the hands are tied behind the back. But the situation is gonna make you stronger. It's gonna help you. The situation of stuckness, if I may say so, is gonna help you to gain a wider perspective, and it's also gonna help you. You're gonna become so much stronger through this. And when the Hanged Man is upside down, it might mean that. It's either taking too long, so you're getting really impatient with this, but it also might mean that it's exactly the good thing for you, and that it's not even something uncomfortable, that you're actually enjoying your being tied, and that you might actually stay there of your own choice. And then, of course, the other warning comes, like don't get too comfortable, because sometimes we tie ourselves, or we cage ourselves in these golden cages because we feel so comfortable and cozy, when it's actually better to move on from there, because once you learn what you need to learn, time for the next step. So I don't see any big. I think this is mostly about you and how you are gonna deal with being in that committed situation. And if it's gonna be good, I get the Six of Wands. I get the Six of Wands upside down also. So the Six of Wands is about an expansion. It's about your going out. See, so the wands you see here, like it's a bunch of people going out on horseback, maybe to war even it might be, yeah. But this is uncertain in the drawing. You can't really tell. But the wands are the fire element, so it's a creative project. It's about your creativity, about how you manifest yourself into the world, like how you change the things, how you do your magic in the world, yeah. And the number 6 is the number of expansion. This is when you as an individual expand into the world and you are no longer just taking care of yourself and your own story, but you also want to, you want to take care of your tribe, your family, and have an impact in a larger in a larger realm, like also to impact the world. And usually the 6 as the number of the lovers also in the Arcana Major. The 6 is a number of love, yeah, like the 6 is a spiral. The number 6 literally, like, we write it as a spiral. So this is about expansion, growth, and some spiritual guys say that the whole universe is built out of love, and that love is actually the engine that is making everything grow, and that is keeping everything together. So when it's about community, obviously, right? Like what to do? What is a community without love? How do you make a community grow without love? So it's I think this is you grouping together, like teaming up with other people to make this community grow, to expand this community, and not just for the sake of yourself, but also for the sake of the world, yeah. Because you're setting an example with this. So it looks good, but then it was upside down, so it's gonna be challenging. It's not gonna be all so easy and breezy. Like you're gonna have to be ready to learn and to be challenged. Is that okay? Does that help? I'm gonna take 1 or 2 more questions and then I'm gonna wrap it up for today because I have a lot of other things to do, unfortunately, as much as I love this. So if anybody else is thinking of something. Yes, obviously. So with the master's degree, I'm sure that it's not so easy, that you need to study a lot and that it's quite a challenge, yeah. But it's good, like now the cards are confirming that it is a challenge for sure. And it's not gonna just be a walk in the park. So that said, maybe one last question to wrap it up. If there's no questions coming from the public, maybe I can pull one last card as a means of wrapping it up. So it's the card of the Empress. You're super welcome, Positive for Life. This is the last card of today's live. The Empress, very, very beautiful and powerful feminine archetype. So I think the card is inviting us to be in touch with our feminine energy, to connect to our intuition, to have this nurturing, loving energy for ourselves, first off, and also for the people around us, to be full love, to be full of confidence and gratitude for nature, to connect to the earth, to connect to the nature, maybe to go out on a walk today and smell the forest and hear the leaves crack under your boots, to connect to Pachamama and to yourself, and also to your emotions, because the Empress is a feminine, strong feminine card, and she's very emotional. So stay close to yourself, stay close to your heart, and also be creative. You know, the Empress has a number 3, and as the archetypal mother, she is like a very creative force. So if you feel like writing something, journaling, drawing, this is absolutely good time for this. So stay well, be blessed, and I hope to see you soon. Please subscribe if you like what I do, and you're very welcome to come check out my website also. And I hope to see you later. Bye.